Today we are going to discuss the remarkable journey of His Highness Prince Joachim of Denmark, the younger brother of King Frederick. There was a time when he appeared to be the second prince, doomed to remain in the shadow of the heir. However, two significant moves abroad and a change in the monarchy have led to Joachim making an impressive personal and professional leap, unexpectedly unveiling his true self to the nation and the world. First of all, Prince Joachim is the second son of Queen Margrethe and the late Prince Henrik. From his childhood, he was raised almost on equal footing with his brother Frederick, with no one anticipating that their paths would eventually diverge once his elder brother ascended the throne. Joachim managed to maintain royal etiquette while also leading a more secluded lifestyle than the official heir. However, everything changed when his first marriage to Countess Alexandra ended. Yet fate had a surprise in store. One of the most striking chapters in Joachim's new biography is the documentary film Hærvejen, produced in collaboration with writer and doctor Stefan Jakobsen. They embarked on a journey along the historic Danish route, where they discussed not only facts from the past, also their own fears, loneliness, family problems, and even existential questions. It was during this journey that the public saw Joachim in a vulnerable state for the first time. Instead of his usual cool reserve, he displayed sincerity and a willingness to talk about his weaknesses. The result was astonishing. Movie theaters were literally filled with the public, and the producers had to extend the run of the film. Critics described the film as an unexpected success for the royal family, as its members typically carefully filter everything related to their personal lives. But this was only one episode in a series of events that changed Joachim. Even before the premiere of the film, he had already taken two important steps. In 2019, together with his wife, Princess Marie, and his children, he moved to Paris to study at a prestigious military academy. There, he delved into strategic management and issues of foreign policy. Initially, his studies were planned to last 1 year. However, new opportunities soon arose, and his stay in France was extended. Life then dealt the prince a heavy blow when he suffered a stroke, and doctors had to perform an emergency operation. According to the prince himself, that moment served as a kind of awakening for him. His feelings of discontent were replaced by an awareness of the value of health, family, and new projects. The family sphere, too, was not without its drama. Queen Margrethe made the decision to strip 4 of Joachim's children, Nicolaj, Felix, Henrik, and Athena, of their royal titles. This upset the prince, who claimed that he had not been informed about the impending decree, and that his children were placed in an awkward situation. Whether by chance or not, it was at that moment that he finally decided to change his environment. As a result, in 2023, Joachim assumed a new position as a military attaché at the Danish embassy in Washington. This role opened up tremendous prospects for him, establishing connections between Denmark, the United States, and Canada, developing defense cooperation, and at the same time maintaining a special bond with the royal family. It is noteworthy that the change in monarch, when his older brother ascended the throne as King Frederick, did not spark any open conflicts among relatives. On the contrary, official sources state that the king fully supports Joachim. The annual financial reports of the royal family mention the importance of the younger brother's contribution to strengthening international ties. Moreover, the Danish royal court officially promotes the documentary film Hærvejen, publishes new portrait photographs of the prince and his wife, and emphasizes Joachim's contribution to shaping a positive image of Denmark abroad. It appears that both brothers are capable of working harmoniously on different fronts. The king manages the country internally, while Prince Joachim successfully promotes its interests around the world. What makes the prince's story especially interesting is his unexpected professional shift. Previously, he studied agricultural economics, and now he is engaged in military diplomacy and strategic interaction. In Washington, Joachim has to communicate with influential politicians and military officials, solve complex security issues, and all of this occurs under the watchful eye of the media. Thus, the role of the second prince, which many once believed was an eternal burden for Joachim, has turned into a unique opportunity to prove himself outside of Denmark. He now not only enjoys respect in his native country, but is also earning authority on the international stage. At the same time, Prince remains a loving father, maintaining close ties with his 4 children, who are no longer destined to carry royal titles, yet still hold a special place in his heart and, undoubtedly, in his life story. In the end, Prince Joachim has demonstrated that everything can be transformed into an opportunity for personal fulfillment. His life story teaches us that even under the shadow of crowns and protocols, one can find a path to personal happiness if one shows persistence, courage, and a sincere desire to change. At this moment, the entire royal court is watching Joachim's successes in Washington with bated breath. It seems that the newest chapter in Denmark's history is receiving a powerful boost in international positioning, and the prince himself, having rethought and overcome personal crises, has found a calling that is far removed from the mundane distribution of roles within the royal family. And if the documentary film helped him reveal himself to society, then his diplomatic service proves that he is capable of effectively defending Denmark's interests at the highest level. This means that the future of the younger brother of the king may turn out to be much brighter and more significant than anyone could have imagined just a few years ago.